Floch, of course, the most hated character Titan. Him or Gabi, right? And I remember when Floch and Gabi got highlighted, and it was like, who's the worst person? Who do you hate the most? Floch or Gabi? Yeah, that's a classic thing. That feels like one of very iconic, I feel, discussion to Titan. Who is the worst person? Gabi or Floch? Who do you hate the most? But I think is that the difference here, I'm talking about the report, of course, but the difference is that, like, Gabi you're supposed to like Gabi, but you don't, right? Most people really don't like Gabi. Floch is supposed to hate him. So it's like, you know, Mikasa, I guess, is probably more hateable though. But this is so good. This is like one of people's most hated scenes. I just see the crap out of Floch. Oh, it's so stupid. Oh, it's so beautiful. Because remember, she's a Japanese woman, so she can fight. She can some karate or something. Or kung fu. Or she has some kind of stupid backstory of, she's like a grandmaster, 9-dan karate master, judo or something, you know. She brings out the judo or something. It's just so stupid how well-trained soldier Floch gets beaten up by an old lady because she's like a judo master. It's beautifully stupid. Let's talk about Floch getting owned by an old grandma, right? Okay guys, let's review episode 85. Floch gets owned by a grandmother. And this scene is one of the worst scenes in Attack on Titan, right? I think this is one of the most hated scenes. And I think most people genuinely hate this scene, right? Honestly. I do find it stupid too. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's the worst Attack on Titan, okay? I think some people, I don't agree with it's the worst scene. But I think it definitely is up there in weird scene Attack on Titan. Because, as mentioned earlier, right? Like, Floch he's like a, you know, experienced veteran of a war. He's been in wars before, right? And trained and so on. He's been training for all these years, and you have to think about he's like a fanatical supremacist too, right? Like, he hates her. She's a alien, right? White people, I guess, you know. He's like a white supremacist, right? So he's like, you know, he should just kill her immediately and all this shit, right? But that actually is important because, okay, so I have been, you know, I actually come from the gym, right? And I've been training martial art for many, many years, and I've been a trainer, and for example, I trained judo, right, for like 7-8 years at least, and taijutsu for over 10 years. So I've done a lot of this, you know, arm breaks and locks and so on, right? And one thing that is very, very true, and everyone knows that has actually been in fights on the street and so on, is that it's easier, I think, for example, to fight someone on the street, because if you dislike them, right, you fight them, you want to kill them, it's easier in self-defense, because you have self-preservance. It's easier than fighting someone in like a tournament or a dojo, because you might have some, you know, oh, I like this person, whatever, right? So I can't go full out, you know, full force, right? Floch here, being basically an alien supremacist, right? Hating this Japanese woman, I guess she's, you know, kind of Japanese, right? That also has a point to it. He would go, of course, full out, you know, physical power he can produce, right? You know, definitely. So anyway, he's a young man, extremely well-trained young man, right? A veteran in war, and he comes to this, like, I don't know, 60-plus-year-old lady, and it's like, you don't throw! He's out! It doesn't make any goddamn sense! I'm sorry, Ishiyama. I understand. It just feels, honestly, shoehorned. And I say this thing. I feel shoehorned that the Japanese author is making this old Japanese lady defeat this, basically, white guy, you know? I mean, I'm just saying, am I the only one? If it's a little bit that you specifically, this old Japanese lady, she's the most badass, right? Because she's basically like some kind of, I don't know, Mikasa's auntie, great aunt or something. I don't know. It's just like, if it's a little silly, right? I don't see any other old grannies throwing down well-trained soldier boys with no issues. But yeah, this scene is ridiculous. It makes zero sense that she just immediately defeats Floch. It also looks so weird that these two guys behind her, you just don't shoot her, right? It's not that she's taking Floch, right? She's taking Floch, and it's like, I got this boy in front of me, don't shoot, right? Like some kind of Buffy thing, which uses the people as their shields and one. This is a Buffy move. If you ever watched Buffy Slayer, just take people as shields, right? I guess bullets, one, yeah. But this old lady is like, she's putting Floch down, like a typical, you know, arm lock, right, towards the ground. She has her back, or side of her back, against these two soldiers. They would just shot her immediately in reality, right? She has zero defense from them. They're gonna shoot her in the back. Why would they care that, you know, she's pushed down their commander on the ground without blocking, right? You know what I mean? If she at least was turning the other way, so Floch was against them, they might feel they can't shoot because they might hit Floch, right? But in this angle, she's clearly terribly positioned, right? They're gonna kill her immediately. They will be like, bam, immediately. It will be a reaction. Drop the commander, boom, and shoot her immediately, right? Worst case scenario, they hit his arm, right? No one would be afraid of taking this shot because you're gonna hit this guy. In worst case, you hit him in the arm. You can't hit his face to be protected. Because she's covering she's pushing his body away from them. I mean, the face and so on, right? And his organs mostly away from them, covered by his own arm. So even if you shoot really badly, you're gonna hit him in the arm. So this, of course, situation where she would just die immediately. Who would, not do it, right? But otherwise, yeah, she does kind of arm lock, I guess. It looks ridiculous in so many aspects because Floch should easily probably not even get down there. And it actually doesn't look realistic at all because how she first arm lock him and then do I don't know, it doesn't matter. It's kind of off screen, I guess, how she even got into the system to begin with. And that also is an issue, right? Because it's just a ridiculous scene that this old grandma defeats Floch, right? It's so ridiculous that it's clear that the author knows that I can't show this scene because it doesn't make any sense. So it's also done, off screen, right? It's done like, we see, you don't see how she actually defeats Floch, right? We see it, she's already won, right, between the pages, right? And that's also, I think, kind of lazy, honestly. He's like, he didn't want to try to do it, right? But yeah, why can't all the Jaegerists shoot them? And again, as I mentioned earlier, it's important to remember that these Jaegerists, they hate her too, right? These Jaegerists, they're like, we're gonna kill all the other races, right? So they're all supremacists, right? So why would these Jaegerists have an issue killing her too, for that matter? They're all, pro-Eren, right? They're pro-genocide. So these guys want to kill her anyway, and she's the commander with, the plane or whatever. So they have the reason to kill her anyway. They should hate her, and so on. So there's no reason they should shoot her in the back, right? So I think this scene is insanely terrible. but anyway, I like David Floch though. I love Floch though. That he's like a supremacist, he hates people, blah. But it's also like, kill everyone, genocide. He's so goddamn smug about it. He's just a goddamn smug bastard. But I think that Floch, honestly, is one of the best written characters, right? If you ignore the grandma owning him scene, if we ignore grandma owning the crap out of him, okay, which is a really terrible scene, Floch is a good written character because he is hateable. You really hate Floch, right? He's the most dislikable character ever. But you're supposed to hate him, right? So that's a big difference, but and that's the issue, of course, generally, is that some of the other characters, like for example GABI, GABI in the beginning is dislikable, it's war criminal and so on, right? So, but GABI is supposed to like, but most people hate her in the beginning, which is like a war criminal. But Floch, again, you're supposed to hate Floch, and you do hate Floch, right? So Floch is the character that is written as a hateable character, and you do hate him. So I think he's one of the more successfully written characters, right? Because again, here Ishiyama actually wanted to hate the character. I guess though that Ishiyama, generally speaking, I would say is pretty good at writing dislikable characters, even if it doesn't want to. So when it tries, I would say this thing. I find Ishiyama, he's pretty good at writing dislikable character no matter what, right? So I guess when he's trying on purpose to write a character dislikable, they get really dislikable. So that is, I feel, his one of his strengths, right? Writing super dislikable characters. But yeah, Mikasa can survive the spear. Mikasa is fireproof, you all know that. Mikasa has the power of dragons or something. She's a magical girl, right? She's a princess after all. She's got the power of Japanese princess or something. But I don't know, Floch, I think he's arguably the most hated character, right, in the whole show. But at least he's supposed to be hated. This, of course, I think is one of the better scenes, right, in Attack on Titan. The whole Connie and Armin scene when they have to kill these guys, it's interesting. It has a lot of depth to it, right? They're crying and so on. They have to kill these aliens. And it's an interesting scene, right? Because they have to go in there and get the airplane. They need the airplane, of course, to stop Eren, obviously. They have this dynamite on the airplane, right? So they have to go in there and, fly and so on. And they're playing some kind of triple agent kind of thing, right? Because Armin is claiming he's there to stop, basically, a traitor, right? He's a traitor himself. So he's like, double crossing kind of thing, right? Whatever, to get their trust. But the scene itself, though, I think it has a really good moment in the end. But at the same time, I honestly find the scene comedically, right, in a sense, because it is so much like Susra. They're like, yeah, man. They have that kind of weird thing of they're both like, and then all the guys stands there like, oh, so you're not gonna betray us, right? And Norman basically is like, again, does the weird face, and then after the next face, he does this weird eye thing, where he's like, betrayal? You know what I mean? Like, they are terrible actors. So, I don't know, I have generally a hate-love for this scene. The first part of it, I think is just so dumb, right? How they look so incredibly suspicious, and, you know, the soldier guys don't trust them for a second. They should immediately shoot them, right? They should immediately shoot them. They're so incredibly obviously gonna betray them. But then the scene has a good ending, right? How they actually are, of course, killing them and so on, and this whole scene. So it has a great emotional, like emotional rewarding scene when they kill them, right? I mean, these two guys killed all the random aliens, but certainly it feels the beginning of it. I think is so strange because it's just like, come on, can't Armin and Connie at least play this a little better? Why are they so like incredibly suspicious? Like, why are they so incredibly suspicious that they can't like do anything to them, right? And I don't know. I find a strong hate-love for this scene. That the first maybe like 2 minutes of the scene is like a comedy show, right? It doesn't make any sense. It reminds me of the episode of South Park. If you've seen the episode of South Park where Butters is killed by his parents, but he actually isn't dead, but I think he's dead. And they call in these other, you know, famous murderers or child murderers, and everyone's like, "Yeah, I didn't kill my son. My son was kidnapped by the Mexican," and they both do. Everyone does this crap, right? That's how I honestly feel this scene here. It feels like a South Park scene where Armin is like, "Yeah, I'm not a traitor." It's just like, come on, man, it's ridiculous. So the first of the scene I think is terrible, right? But at the same time, the ending, like, so what I mean is that. And I said earlier too, right, in earlier reviews, where I feel like I have a lot of like hate-love, right, for the last 2-3 hours, things like that. Where it's like, this scene here is great. Now it's a great scene. When Colin is like, "I have to kill you, I'm sorry, you know, I'm sorry," and so on, right? Now it's a great scene, but the scene before, I feel it's generally like a comedical, terrible scene, because it doesn't make any goddamn sense, right? So it's like a mixture of like a great scene and a bad scene, right? The last episode was like great Jean scene, terrible Mikasa scene, right? So I feel this is like a team, unfortunately, when it comes to the writing. I feel half the episode is like great, and the other half is like what is this shit, right? So it feels like an ongoing issue all the time. Seriously, right? But yeah, it is strange that you just can't kill everyone, and of course, and I think that was strange earlier too. We can talk about that scene. We can else. And why do you care about her? Honestly, this scene, I love this scene until she's saying right. This could have been an amazing. Just let her kill her. She's a traitor. No one likes her. No one likes you, Lena. Right? So she's like, my God, it's like, goddamn woman, you shut up, I'm gonna kill you, right? And the issue I have with the scene is plenty, right? This starts out great, but I think it's not the scene itself, but it's more the general premise that they have her with them when they know that she's gonna backstab them as soon as she can, right? They all know she's trying to kill them as soon as she can. So when my God is like, okay, I'm just gonna kill this woman because she's gonna kill us, she's gonna hit us in the back, right? We have to eliminate her, right? Because she wants the genocide and so on. We have to kill her now. And then they stop him for some reason. Like, why do they stop him, right? Why do they stop him? Why has they even brought her along? I know they wanted to, like, you know, get her so they can, like, punish her or whatever, yeah. Okay, fine, you know. But then punish her, right? Like, why do you bring her along with you? She's only there to just disturb them, annoy them, right? And just, like, ruin their strategies. And he's like, I'm tired of this, let's just kill her, and then we go and, you know, do the Levi and blah, 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 and go seek it, whatever, yeah. He's like, let's go and we get the stuff going, right? And then people just stop her. Stop him, I mean. Why do they care? Why do they want to stop him for? Everyone hates her. They have no reason to want to save her. And it's all about, you know, emotion, right? But emotionally they hate her. And from a war standpoint, they have no use for her, right? She's the traitor. And also, of course, she will probably kill them as soon as she can, right? So they have no reason from a tactical standpoint to let her be alive at all. And they also have no emotional reason to let her be alive, right? So I think it's like the scene is great at the beginning, and then it's just like, why do they care? Why do they stop him again for this thing? Why don't they just like, yeah, just kill her? Why aren't they just like, oh yeah, let's kill her? Like, well, who cares? Why aren't they all like, great, she's finally dead? I want to mention that the episode is honestly probably the ugliest episode so far. And again, I'm no Mappa hater, right? You know, I love Zombieland Sega, so I'm a huge Mappa fan, right? It's kind of the one. But this episode really was the lowest quality episode. The first 7 or 8 minutes have really, really low quality. And not only do they have low quality, and speaking, they have almost no animation. So this is a scene, right, from the minute 7 or so, whatever, in the beginning there. You just lose this kind of, it's a still frame, right? This is a still frame. So what happens here is that every character stands here, and during this scene, we have dialogue, right? We have dialogue, we have them talking, right? But do you see animals' mouth moving? No. This is literally like half a minute, right? And this was roughly the first 7-8 minutes of the episode. There's so many scenes in the beginning where they just stand talking and only the mouths are moving, and there are even several still frames where not even the mouth is moving, but you see them like this just talking, right? And the smoke moves in the back. This is a VFX though. That's not an actual animation, it's a graphical effect, right? So this is a scene, no one actually moves, there's no animation in the scene, right? The scene before, the same thing. And then we have a later scene after he strangles Helena. Everyone stands in a circle and they just stand there still. So the episode really was terribly, and they had no animation, right? It was incredibly obvious. And I'll say one last thing here. So this is another scene though, we have to say it. The episode was terribly animated the first 7-8 minutes, right? This scene was great. So Hannes goes down on her ass, but it's so nice because there's no animation. She just slides on her butt, right? She sits there and she slides, yeah. She kind of comes like this, right? There's like no animation. She just goes down on her ass, and only her mouth is moving. She's like, hey guys. But her legs, her arms, nothing else is moving. She just has this weird positioning and she slides down. It looks ridiculously ugly. Holy shit. This scene was, oh my god. Okay, see, I'm right, man. Okay, I know I hate being this guy in reviews, but I have to say it when it happens, right? These episodes, he had so many weird faces, right? I'm just doing the end review, right? Holy shit, like look at this Helena face. And there's no animation here again. She sits at this, and she's like, yeah, that's right, you can't kill me, right? And it's just like her body is moving. It's like a really weird Helena face. Like the whole episode has this issue all the time. Oh my god, it is ridiculous. But anyways, that's the review, guys. Who do you think is the worst, most hateable character like that? Is it Floch? Is it Mikasa? Or is it Gabi? Maybe some other character, but I'll say it's about one of those 3 usually wins, right? People's opinions. Anyway, guys, check out all the stuff yesterday. Of course, we did the Kuroga, fun, Masha and so on. Now take a break, and then see you guys on Twitch later on with Elden Ring, where I fight more titans. At least there are titans of fight in that game. Here, the winter is coming eventually, right? Maybe I'll see you guys and have a great day.